The divine emotion which every human needs to experience, and the more the merrier, is profound goodwill, loving kindness. And what it needs is definition, because there's a substantial portion of the population who have never experienced this. They've had moments, perhaps, of friendliness, of personal attraction and things like this, but they actually, many humans may never have felt the opening of the heart, the unconditional opening of the heart. And this is called, in the Buddhist tradition, a divine abiding. It's a little bit more poetic than that. It's called the Brahmavihara. Brahma is a god, not the one from the Judeo-Christian tradition, but a heavenly being. So this idea of beings that dwell in heaven, in a very interesting parallel to the Christian tradition, they talk about the mansions of heaven. Very beautiful description that the beings of heaven would live in splendid dwellings. It helps the imagination. I think that humans, one of the differences for humans is that they do live in dwellings, and they enjoy large, spacious, and beautiful dwellings. And this is important, actually, to translate that vihara, that dwelling, as a space which you are emotionally moving into. Now, this is not something that is produced by the intellect. This is an emotion, and the only time you're ever in your life going to experience the divine is through the emotions. And so you're going to move in and dwell in beautiful space. There are descriptions in some of the suttas of Moggallana going to the heavenly abodes. And there are descriptions of these glittering, radiantly beautiful, multicolored, transparent, floating mansions. And it's good for your imagination to think about that. And the beings are described who live in these mansions are described, and they're radiating. They're extraordinarily beautiful as well. Nothing in the human realm competes with it. And so this is poetic language, but poetry is a form of reality, just like music is a form of reality. And for a lot of people, the experience of listening to music, transporting them, changing their moods, is more real than ordinary, unsupported reality. And for most people, they need things like visual arts or music to transport them into a higher state of consciousness, of the emotional development. They require this. They can't do it without it. But they should realize that it's a shame that they can't spend more time there without needing the external stimulus of the arts and the music. And so this is what it is to develop the divine abidings. It is to learn to enter into the heavens. There is no heaven or dimension of reality that is removed from the emotional dimension of reality. So yes, it's a state of consciousness. But I would not go so far as to say it's merely a state of consciousness. It's an absolute reality. just like pain is an absolute reality. Depression is an absolute reality. It's not just something, it's whole and inclusive and an absolute reality. So that these divine emotions, specifically of loving kindness, are only entered through emotional experience, and they are absolutely and ultimately real. And any talk that you ever hear in religious language, spiritual language about heaven is talking about this. And many, of course, in modern times, there's a lot of skepticism and removal. Everybody's trying to look through a telescope for heaven, or a microscope, maybe. Is it quantum? Is it quantum heaven? This is like the medieval church asking how many angels can dance on the head of a pin. These are very rational inquiries, but angels don't dance on the head of a pin. They dance in translucent, full-color mansions. And you may want to join them in that dance, in that song. And so this is the language that you need to understand. You need to liberate your heart and not be so suppressed. Many people are walking around, they're emotionally repressed. They feel that they can't break the boundaries of their ordinary identity. This is a shame. They need to be liberated from that and to feel comfortable to have sort of a transcendent and sweet and kindness for all beings, themselves included. And you need to use your imagination, and you need to be dramatic. Maybe you need to do this alone in your bedroom or in the forest, but you need to do whatever it takes. Now, they often, this loving kindness is taught with phrases like, may I be well, and may other beings be well. These are just dry words. Find words that drip, that are succulent, that are delicious, that are poetic, whatever you need. It's not about clinging to a method, it's the results that you want. And that has to be, you have to yearn for liberation, and you have to yearn for the highest state of human nature. What a shame to pass your life and not experience true and profound goodwill and loving kindness, to not glimpse the dwellings of the gods, not to join them in their beauty. And this is the possibility that a human has. And you can make this your primary practice in your entire life, and it has endless benefits.